Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Daniel and welcome to my channel. In today's video, my Chardonnay is finally done doing all the hard work of fermenting, of settling. I have been working on making this Wine Xpert Classic Chardonnay kit. It's a 1 gallon kit. I have a whole different video going through the entire process that I've gone to up until this point. You can follow the link up above to actually watch that video. But in today's video, all I'm going to be talking about is racking this beautiful gallon of Chardonnay into some wine bottles. I'm going to be tasting it, talking about the experience, whether I thought doing a wine kit was a positive or a negative experience, and just my general thoughts. So as always, I'm glad that you guys are here. Before I get into the racking of this 1 gallon of wine into some bottles, I just want to remind all of you that if you're happy to be here, smash that like button. If you want to see more videos of me making wine, of me tasting wine, doing different fun things with fermentation, then smash that subscribe button. So now that I've gotten it out of the way, let's dive into today's video where I'll be talking all about this Wine Xpert Classic Chardonnay wine kit, racking it from this carboy to some bottles, and then tasting it and talking about my experience. Let's dive on in. So once again, if you're new here, welcome. I love doing fun things like this, making a mess in front of an audience, and that is 100% what I'm already in the middle of doing. I have this sanitized wine bottle. I have my carboy full of 1 gallon of precious, delicious Chardonnay. If you've seen the video where I actually racked over my cider, I talked about this very important piece of equipment right here called a bottle wand. I finally have one. I didn't have one in the last video. This is going to allow me to control the flow of Chardonnay from this carboy to this bottle. As I push this bottle wand to the bottom of the bottle, this valve is spring-loaded. It will allow a path for flow. The Chardonnay will flow from this carboy to the wine bottle. And as soon as I decide that I'm done, I lift it up, the spring snaps shut, and then no more flow. I'm gonna make a mess no matter what, but hopefully this will help me to be just a little less messy. So, I don't think that there's really much more for me to say. At this point in time, everything has been fermented. I've added the sulfites, which have killed out off the yeast. I have shaken it in order to degas it, and it has sat and settled, and there is nothing settled at the bottom of this. It is perfectly clear. I can see straight through it. So now it's time to bottle it and enjoy it. Sanitization is a very important part of bottling your wine. The worst thing that could really happen is if you bottle your wine just to find out that something in it was going to cause it to go bad. I use Star Sands. There's a link for Star Sands down in the description below. If you need a good sanitizer, I highly recommend. It's very easy to use, not too complicated whatsoever. You definitely got to find a way to finagle this. One way to rack wine in a much more efficient manner is to have your carboy on a higher level than your bottle. I'm not doing that because I'm trying to make a video that you guys can watch and enjoy. But if you're just doing this for fun, if you put the wine bottle on a lower level, you should just be able to give a couple pumps and it will flow freely. So things to take into consideration. This bottle wand is taking up volume in this wine bottle. So once I'm done filling it up, I have to remember that when I pull this out, there's going to be more room than I would have initially thought. See what I mean? So let's get this. I think I'm at an impasse. Perfect. So that right there is as high as it's going to go. So now I try to tactfully get this out of the way without making the world's largest mess. Having way too much fun doing this. So this is one bottle. I'm going to do the other 4 bottles off screen because you get the point. So I'm just going to get rid of this, and then I'm going to go into corking the wine bottle. Okay, so we're at this point. I have my sanitized wine bottle, sanitized by Star Sands. I have my bottle corker, which is going to be absolutely fun to use for the very first time ever. Then I have my wine cork. So I've never done this before. This is definitely a first for me. I can't wait until the day where I can say that that's not the case, where I have experience. So I'm really going to try to manhandle this as much as I can to make my life just a little easier. It seems like it's going in pretty well. So now that I get to the point where it'll grip the bottleneck, let's see if I can't get this. There we go. Probably the only person that could have made something so simple so complicated. But the cork is flush with the bottle, and so we have the bottle of wine. We have the cork inside the bottle of wine. So now what we're going to do is we're going to allow this to sit for a few days, and then after a few days we're then going to leave this bottle of wine on its side. We're going to keep it in a regulated temperature room, 68, 70 degrees, just like whenever you're fermenting. And we're going to keep it on its side. The cork will stay wet, which will prevent it from rotting. So there's really not much more to it. I could pop this bad boy open right now, drink it and enjoy it. Or this is a grape wine. I could let this age for decades and see if it's any better in the future. So now that I've bottled my first bottle of wine, let's go to the testing. So this here is my Chardonnay. I'm not going to lie to you, I already tasted it because I'm an impatient person and I wanted to know what it was like. But this is Wine Xpert Classic Chardonnay. There's a link down in the description below if you want to buy your own kit. But this is kind of my general analysis and review of Wine Xpert's Classic Chardonnay. It's definitely, I'm surprised at how much the grape flavor is coming through. I'm not a sommelier, don't take me too seriously, but as somebody who enjoys wine, it's very light. It doesn't have too much of, I believe it's that tannin-y taste that kind of gives you that, you know what I'm talking about, that feeling? So it's smooth, it's smooth, it's easy to drink. It's still very much maintained its fruity body. I'm just saying words at this point. But at the end of the day, this is a good wine. I could chill this, enjoy it, share it with friends, which I definitely plan on doing. It's not something that you need to be a wine expert, as the box says, to enjoy. This is really just a wine that anybody could pour, enjoy. I don't think it's too dry. I don't think it's too sweet. I think it's somewhere right in the middle. And that is absolutely fantastic because that's just the kind of wine that I like. So yeah, this is a good wine. I really do enjoy this. I normally drink red wines, but I'm glad I went for something different. And I'm definitely proud of the result. I can say I did this with my own 2 hands. And that's kind of the satisfying feeling that you get from fermenting your own wine. So now let's talk about the Wine Xpert experience. So I'm somebody who makes country wines, fruit wines. I'm used to kind of knowing everything that's going into my wine. Wine Xpert 1. It contains shrimp. There's a specific ingredient, I believe it's the Keelsasol, that contains shrimp. Even though whenever I make country wine, yes, I'm using different things out of a packet that I might not know everything about, but these ingredients felt even more foreign. So it was kind of off-putting, but it was extremely easy. I did very little thinking. I followed the directions from beginning to end, put it together, and it turned out way better than I probably could have done if I just had some Chardonnay grapes and try to do it myself. While there's definitely some pros and cons, I would say that at the end of the day, I'm proud of what I made and I'm proud of what I'll be able to share with my friends and family. As I've said, there's definitely going to be links in the description down below for Wine Xpert's Classic Chardonnay kit. I'm definitely going to be throwing more links down in the description below for different items that were used in the making of this wine. If you're interested in seeing more videos like this, you need to subscribe. I don't just make wine. I'm currently getting my whole garden ready, building raised garden beds because spring is coming. I do love making wine, so more wine videos are in the future. But I'm also getting creative with so many other things in my life, and so my videos will vary. I can't wait until the next video is up. Whatever it is that I'm doing, stay tuned. But until then, I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and I hope you have a great time making and sharing your homemade fermentation projects.